global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. There's some things that the supporters or the former aide to Wike knows that most Nigerians do not know, and he have decided to leak it all out for Nigerians to know. He talked about the issue of PeterObi, he talked about the issue of Ibas, Ette, Fubara, talked about quite a lot, 2027, and the fact that the propaganda that is going on, if Nigerians stay strong, they will definitely get what they're looking for. Well, before we go into the newspaper, let's kindly subscribe to our channel. Let's start with what Opunabo Inko Tare, a former media aide to ex-governor Wike, now the FCT minister, has called on Vice Admiral Ibas Ette, the sole administrator of Rivers State, to account for every kobo received during the 6-month emergency rule. During the interview he had some few hours ago, he said that the people of Rivers State deserve clarity on the management of federal allocations and internally generated revenue (IGR). And according to him, the state generates over 20 billion naira every month. He added that Governor Siminalayi Fubara original budget was 1.1 trillion naira. However, Ibas represented about 1.8 trillion naira to the National Assembly. Now, Inka Tara noted that Ibas has been spending money according to the budget approved by Right Honorable Victor Oko-Jumbo. He expressed concern about transparency in the state finances. He said that Rivers people want to know how public funds were used during the emergency rule. That Inka Tara also emphasized that accountability is essential for good governance. He warned that the public will clearly or closely monitor all allocations and expenditures. He highlighted that managing such large funds requires strict adherence to financial rules, that the sole administrator must ensure that every kobo is properly accounted for and documented. Tara also stated that the people of Rivers State expect full disclosure from Vice Admiral Ibas. They also want confirmation that all monies received, including federal allocations and local revenue, was used appropriately. Vice Admiral Ibas will account for every kobo he collected from federal allocation and IGR. We all know what is happening in the state. Our internally generated revenue is over 20 billion naira monthly. But he didn't also stop there. He talked out strongly about PeterObi. That's Opunabo Inko Tare have also gone ahead to talk about Wike and PeterObi. He stated that PeterObi could challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 election of the only if the African Democratic Congress (ADC) is allowed to grow stronger. And he also noted that Obi has previously won support in key states including Lagos and Rivers State. He also argued that if Obi secures the presidential ticket, he could give Tinubu a serious contest. He described that the ADC potential's rise as essential for a credible opposition. He also warned, the analyst warned, that presenting another candidate such as Atiku Abubakar could fail. He said such a move would be an abysmal failure and would weaken the opposition's chances. Tara suggested that Atiku should support PeterObi to strengthen the fight against the president. Despite the prospect for Obi, Tara acknowledged that some groups still support Tinubu. He said that this reflects a divided electorate with loyalty to the incumbent in certain areas. He argued that unity among opposition parties is critical to mounting a strong challenge. He also stated that the effectiveness of the opposition depends on strategy. Without coordinated effort, it would be difficult to wrestle power from the current administration. Tara stressed the need for proper organization and voter mobilization to maximize chances of defeating Tinubu. If they can allow ADC to garner strength and the traction it deserves and allow PeterObi to clinch the ticket, he will give Tinubu a tough fight. Last time he won in Lagos, he won in Rivers State. If they present a man like Atiku, it is going to be an abysmal failure. Let Atiku give the support to PeterObi, then we can wrestle power from Mr. President. Well, there's yet another group of people who want the president to continue, and I can tell you for free from my end, that group is quite minimal. My colleague is in the house. He heard what he said strongly about both PeterObi and the person of Ibas Ette, that Ibas Ette, in all sincerity, must account for every kobo he has taken?
Well, on the issue of accountability on the part of the sole administrator, Ibas, I don't think that Ibas is accountable to the people of Rivers State. Don't forget that there was a line of reporting. The line of reporting was directly to Mr. President. I think that's why he's telling him to prepare his report and send it across to him. It is now his prerogative right to share it or not to share it. That's where we are right now.
So Rivers State is now federal government state.
It's actually, as at the time when the emergency rule was on, it was exactly the property of was a national state controlled by the president. He just brought in someone as an administrator to stay there. So accountability is straight to the president. He doesn't owe the people anything. You understand? Now, on the part of PeterObi and all of that, it's very obvious that PeterObi is one man that can correct the ills of our society. If not for anything, we are so sure he's going to restore back the value system, will deal with the issue of corruption, will also make sure that the democracy is practically defined in Nigeria. That's government of the people, for the people, about the people. So I think that he's the ideal person that can rule this country and leave us with a blueprint that will enable Nigerians to know what it actually means to be in a democratic setting like Nigeria.
He also mentioned someone like Rotimi Amechi. He talked about the fact that Rotimi Amechi is a great guy. He has his own record. Then he now compared Rotimi Amechi pari passu at par with PeterObi. Don't forget that both of them are also looking forward to becoming the president of Nigeria come 2027. They're all open to be aspirants and candidates. But as we speak, he now said something unique, and I would like to ask if you would agree with him. He said, putting the pedigree of PeterObi and Rotimi Amechi, that though Rotimi Amechi is a great guy, but PeterObi have a standard of his own. PeterObi already have grassroots and the obedient, of which no politician right now have the level of grassroots mobilization and acceptance like PeterObi. Do you agree with him?
Exactly. Well, that's one of the reasons why everyone keep telling the likes of Atiku Abubakar to please allow PeterObi. If we talk about transparency in electoral process, PeterObi will floor anybody, because the people already have seen how far, with his own personal funds, what he has been able to do. You can't tell me that Atiku Abubakar is broke. Neither Rotimi Amechi. None of them are broke. But despite the fact that there are issues across board Nigeria, there are a lot of issues that needs to be handled in Niger State, in other states of the Federation. They have never for once volunteered. The only time I heard a contribution from Rotimi Amechi was one of his friends, I think Andoka, also had book launch. Was it Andoka? One of these guys had the book launch. He went there and said he wouldn't want to open up how much that he wants to offer, but he had, given a particular amount of that. He will send it directly to him. Now that's politicians for you. PeterObi is not a politician. PeterObi is a leader who wants to correct the ills of our society. And there's something he said fairly recently when the issue of doctors were being brought in, that when doctors embarked on strike. He said something that, please don't think that when I come into power, even you journalists will not hate me at a point, because I'm so concerned about the people that if I give you something if I buy something and put in the hospital, and the time for us to take records come, and I don't see it, that I will not take disciplinary action against you. Irrespective of what the doctors are going to do, he did not care as at that time. But one thing is certain, if I take try to save the people better, and you're trying to stand in my way, come on, you're going to face a trend-like movement, because I won't care who you are. So that's who PeterObi is. He cares more about the people. I don't think a lot of politicians knows about this.
All right, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our